What's up, guys? John from Heavy Set Tactical, and today we are going to do the long-awaited video for my TRC Apocolypse in LMAX. I love this knife so much. I almost don't want to bang it up because it's so perfect, but you know I like knives more when they're a little banged up. So I'm hot on the trail. Finally, some of this crazy humidity died down in central PA, so it's just beautiful out. And also, I need a new place to get a new cowboy hat made in Pennsylvania, central Pennsylvania somewhere. So if anybody's got a lead on that, put it down in the comments. You'll definitely get a Heavy Set Tactical gift from me. So, yeah, good week. Let's check this knife out. Alright, gentlemen, so today I got my trusty Bako, B-A-H-C-O. My trusty dusty foldable Bako saw. Excellent tool, bush tool to have with you, very lightweight, very usable. And also, with me today, we're going to be doing, as I'm sure you saw in the title, the review of my TRC Apocolypse in LMAX steel. Damn, brother, it doesn't get better than this knife. It came with that lanyard in it, so I figured I'd give it a try. I don't wear lanyards in a lot of my knives except for some of the big boys. So let's see how she works. We're going to do some batoning, a little bit of feather sticking. Then when I get home, I'm going to show you guys what the edge profile still looks like. Then tomorrow, we're going to do a separate edge retention video. Probably just cut sisal rope and then baton straight into some hard oak. And we're going to have some fun with it. So, other than the knife, what's very important for me is sheaths. Guys, this sheath has a drop loop on it that's made out of like seatbelt material, that nylon, real hard nylon. I love it. You know, when I'm sitting down, kneeling down, it gets out of the way, but it doesn't flop around a lot. And I'll show you guys a close-up. I also did a table review of this knife already, so you can go back and see some of the aspects of it. But this knife has the most perfect Kydex sheath I have on any of my larger survival knives. Perfect little click in, seats right, phenomenal. No rattle. Love this thing. So we're going to do a little batoning, and I'm going to start on some of this old dead stuff. You know what? I want to see how this lanyard fares. I'll give it a wrap grab. Ooh, I don't mind that. Telling you guys, the profile of this grind on here just makes so much sense to me. So we're going to do some batoning of some of this hard dried out wood here, and we're going to see how that fares. I'm going to take it right down the center. Let's see what happens. Telling you guys, I don't have a good grab on this, so I'm not swinging that hard in case this flies out of my hand. I just want nice controlled little hits. And I'll tell you what, that's so crazy to me how well this goes through material. Crazy. Now this is hard stuff. Really hard stuff. Man, it's just so, it's not a knotty piece, but it's very fibrous wood. So now, you know what? Let me see. Let's break down a piece of this stuff here. Now this is pretty fresh. But trust me, I know this wood's tough. This stuff. Man. That second time I swung, that real loud hit was me actually hitting the wood, not the knife. Because the knife already bounced down through. I'm telling you guys, the profile on this thing just works so well. I'd like a better baton. Now, if you can see on there, there's a huge double knot up top. One there, and then a nice double knot completely adjacent to it, about an inch lower. So we're gonna go right down through them. Crazy. I'll tell you what, boys. Sometimes when they do a knife real right, they do it real right. And TRC, unlike a lot of other knife companies, TRC has a very high price for their stuff because the customer service also is excellent. The grinds are flawless. The edge is sharp when it comes nice and sharp. Let's see how this thing feather sticks. So I couldn't say enough good stuff about TRC knives. This looks like a good piece here. Man, just as I suspected. Look at those micro hairs. And it comes with this big finger choil. I love that. You can do a hammer grip with it or put your thumb up top. It has a nice rounded spine for you to grab up top. I might be flexing my hands a little bit, but I do not have to tense up or push hard with this knife. The knife does all the work, guys. Man. Look at these beautiful curls. And you can get these little tiny squeakers too. And I wish I could show you the noise of it passing through the wood, because the noise of a knife cutting, you know, you can almost heat. A lot of guys will tell you, like me, that are, you know, pretty into knives and sharpen your own knives very well. You can hear it passing through wood, whether it's sharp or not, or if it's a thick behind the edge knife, it'll kind of have like a scratch sound through the wood. Excellent feather sticker. Excellent, guys. Breaking down kindling. I'm telling you. Get out of here. What was that, 4 or 5 swings? See, I like this because the cutting profile of it isn't like a super slicey. It's slicey, but it's not too slicey as to where it just grabs in. Gives you a lot more control. I'm telling you, man, the profile on this thing is so well. Carving tent stakes, absolutely doable. Let's put a nice one right here. Now, you can push cut those, but for the sake of time, you know, my favorite place, if I have a good knife, I'm probably going to take that lanyard off. You guys can tell I've been messing with it. I don't like lanyards. My favorite place on any knife, and especially with this nice swedge because it's not sharpened, and I'll give you guys some up close looks on it at the end of the video. I can put my thumb like this on a 20-degree angle right off the tip, and use that for carving. And it's very comfortable. I like using the big belly on this thing. It's got a big sweeping belly. Man, and that flat part, it's just crazy. Does great notches for tent pegs. Great notches. Look at that. Look at the meat it's taken off of here. If you have to spear point anything, man, that wind is knocking all kinds of branches down. I hope I don't get cracked in the head. Crazy. I'm going to do some tip gouging. That's as hard as I can go in there without slipping onto the blade. Guys, prying, gouging with this knife, absolutely. The tip on this thing is so big and so strong. You can see not a single bend in there at all. I'm looking against the black side of my camera so I could see nothing. That tip is so crazy strong and super sharp. I love this knife. I could not be any bigger of an advocate for, let's do a little chopping. I couldn't be any more of a big advocate for TRC Knife Company. I am one of their biggest advocates now after getting this knife. I wanted to see what all the hype was about. Oh, that's a nice piece of bark. Let's see that one. But yeah, I know some of my reviews are kind of me randomly spouting while showing you some tasks, but I feel like when I'm working on something like testing a knife, I can just sit here and talk to you guys about my honest opinion on things. It's not scripted. It's not some fancy studio of me, you know, writing things down or what I want to tell you guys. It's my honest opinion on whether or not, and this is how I think about it sometimes. This is my honest opinion on whether or not I would trust putting my opinion on this knife as a survival knife that will help you fend for your own life if it came down to it. And I think from every aspect that this thing is a winner. Big knot on there. I think in almost every aspect other than the crown spine. Now I heard it's got a little grab. Okay, so from here to here is the only point you could strike a ferro rod on this knife, which is okay. I don't hit or miss. I don't hit or miss whether a knife is a good survival knife by whether or not it has a crown spine or a 90-degree spine. I do love a good 90-degree spine, but it doesn't make or break a knife for me, because most of mine have a striker tip with them, which is completely usable and not a bad choice sometimes. Plus, if I really like the look of a knife like this one, I don't have to get it all banged up. I'm telling you guys, this thing is just such a win. I love it. Now, let's do a little bit of chopping with this. I don't necessarily know if I want to do it down on here. You guys could see it real well, but I want to kind of bushwhack with it a little bit. We'll see. Let me just get some good strikes in on this wood here so we can I don't like having a hand down here. It's very dangerous, so don't do it unless you're me and you're stupid. I'm only going straight down too. It's good. It's a good knife. It's got a good weight to it. It has a really nice fat end so that you can grab onto. I like it, guys. I like it a lot. There's a daddy longlegger. Jesus Christ. Pardon my French. This thing just has so much bite on it. I just cut the whole way through that in 4 hits. Oh. Jeez Louise, guys. This thing is the wood processing monster. I'll tell you what, that Elmax does a hell of a job. Huh. Stuff must be falling out of the trees today. It's just beautiful in Central PA today, guys. What a beautiful profile. I like it, guys. It's going in my top book for certain. Breaking down kindling, using it as a general survival knife. The TRC Apocolypse and Elmax is crazy. Not one issue with the edge so far. Nothing. And that tip, that big fat tip with that swedge cut out that ends right before the tip. Excellent. The TRC Apocolypse is a win. I'll tell you what, guys, not an issue I can find on that blade. Very minimal marking from some sap. What an excellent, beautiful tool. I mean, it just checks all my boxes of usable, and it does every job you would actually need it to do. It is such a win, guys. And also, one of my favorite hand tools for bushcrafting is my Bako button release folding saw. Comes with this cool little lanyard on it, a little you know, leather lanyard on it. Sometimes you gotta mess with it when you close it. Bako, B-A-H-C-O. I think the label's worn off, yeah, so you can't see it on the blade anymore. But yeah, the Bako is a win for sure. So guys, John from Heavyset Tactical at the end of the video. I'll do a sharpness test at home. I'm going to use this probably for another hour on my hike back to the car. And thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll see you again. So guys, I just got back from the trail, and this is the sheath here, knife here. Great thumb ramp. Carries really nice, full click. I love it. I love this. Is the nicest Kydex sheath I've probably ever gotten on a knife. Now, I just got back from the trail. You can still see the crap on the blade there. No chips or dings. This Elmax really holds up. And this is how it cuts paper after I just used it for 2 hours in the woods. Crazy. Now, I don't know about you guys. Oop, that was me. Oop. I think that's just the paper, to be honest with you. I was doing that earlier. Yeah. Man, I'll tell you what. Not a single ding. I think that was just getting held up because it was changing, going around that edge there. But man, what a blade. What a steel choice. And it's so excellent, man. I'm being able to get as much use out of this and not have to worry about sharpening it all the time. The edge retention on this L-Max is really holding up. Absolute win, in my opinion. So you can see, not a single reflection, roll, or ding. Man, what a good looking knife. Here she is, boys, all cleaned up. Not a freaking mark on her. You just can't beat that. And I was just talking to my buddy Gabe over at the Last Huntsman the other day. I am becoming more and more of a fan of that L-Max. And this knife just solidifies that tenfold. So, alright guys, like always, stay safe. I'll leave some links in the description for this knife where you can purchase it. I think they still have them on DLT Trading. This exact satin finished L-Max TRC Apocolypse. Now, they are, I'm just going to pull that band-aid off right now. They are upwards about $500, $510 I think, which is what I paid for it, so I'm happy with it. I have not tried to rethink this purchase one time. I did not one time. So if that means anything, you guys have a good week, and like always guys, stay safe and stay heavy.